get. Like, so all of a sudden you just stop panicking. You're like, yeah, like, cool, I failed this test, but man can retake it.
This is perfect.
You get me? I needed to fail, so now I know what I need to do properly next time.
This is perfect. So I wasn't going to talk about this topic today, but it is a big part of my last 8 days, isn't it? So I kind of have to, but I'll try and leave out as many details as I possibly can. But basically, me and Charlotte are basically patterning a new car, innit? So in this process, there's been some ups and some downs.
Hurdles and that.
It's ended on a fucking up. But how we got there was crazy. So basically, going into the dealership. We'll talk about the brand of the dealership. Just going into the dealership. Go there, right? Now, we're in there for a specific car. We want this car. That's it. We want it within the next couple of days. That's all we're on. Go there now. We found the car, but obviously online. But they're not in this dealership. They're in other dealerships just outside of London. So we have to wait for it to come in. So like, cool, bet. But then the guy's like, oh, you can... guys, this story is crazy. The guy's like, oh, you can test drive the car. So like, bet.
Wait, but it's not there.
But listen, he's basically saying we can test drive just a different spec of the car. Now, this spec is...
higher.
You get me? So, obviously, I'm tapping Charlotte listen. Whatever's on this car, yeah, don't be looking at it like that. You get me? Because we ain't here for all that, you know what I'm saying? She's like, all right, bet, cool. So we get in the car. Obviously, physical difference. Yeah. There's a big physical difference, you get me, in terms of what's inside and outside the car. So I'm still telling her, listen, ignore all of that shit. Close your eyes, babe. How I feel, you get me? How I feel, how I drive, you get me? Like, focus on that, the size of it, all that type of stuff. Focus on those things and not the aesthetics. So then cool. So then we get back to the dealership. We sit down with homeboy. He was a brother too. Yeah. The sup still. And he was like, he was a brother still for sure. So so then he's like, cool. He turns around to us. He's like, this is the funny part. How much do you guys like the car you just drove? I said, how much is it going to cost to drive it?
It don't matter.
Yeah. So he said, what if I said to you guys, I can get it close to like the top of your budget? And we was like, that don't sound too bad. Because like I said, it's a higher spec and it's around our budget. Just over, but we can negotiate. So I'm like, cool, okay, we'll listen to it. So he tells us the deal and we're like, all right, cool, you know what? It sounds like a decent deal. And obviously those two other cars, we're going to get that sorted. But for now, it's definitely an option. We'll come back. And bearing in mind, this is like towards the end of the day. Like, we're literally like at the dealership when we're about to close. So we're like, we don't want to rush anything and make a rash decision and get ourselves tied up to something that's, like I said, more expensive that we haven't really sat down and thought about. The other car, we sat down and thought about, we can definitely afford this. Whereas this spec, we didn't have that conversation yet. So it was like, cool, what we'll do is we'll come back to you. Go home, run the numbers. We want the fucking car. We want that car, bro. We're like, no, what? This, you know what I'm saying? You don't need to come back and you realize, imagine you go out here, you see something, you're like, well, that's expensive. You get back home, you're like, hold on. You're like, hold on a minute. I could run that. We get back, we're like, yeah, we want the fucking car. So like, cool. Next day, bro. Call the dealership up. Listen, we're coming in.
So I want to speak to the same
bro,
guy.
I'm coming in. We want the whip.
Yeah.
The guy on the phone was like, fine, cool. He's busy right now, but cool. Say less. I told him the registration, everything. Bro, we get there. Go straight up to my man. You know when you go to the dealership and then normally you're like, hi, how can I help you? We go straight to my man's desk, past all them bitches. Cool. Go straight to my man's desk. He's like, what's up? I was like talk to me about the car, what's up? And then we say, so the car that we test drove yesterday, he says, yeah. So we want it. Like, we want that car. Like,
yeah.
He's like, did you get my email? I said, huh? What email you talking about, bro? Check the email. He said it's sold. I said, word. Imagine how she felt.
Yeah.
I'm like, that. You know, I'm calm, collected, bro. I ain't tripping. But she arguing, you know, inside though, she's steaming, you get me? So I'm like, shit, you know how girls are. Girls, when they get excited for something, they get vexed when they don't get it in it. So I'm like, shit. So I'm like, So what other options we got though? You get me? She ain't trying to hear these other options, bro. But I'm like, listen, we like, what? There's nothing we could do.
So wait, what? They didn't have another one of that car?
No. The spec of this car is very rare, innit? Like, not many cars are built this way.
Yeah.
You get me? You understand once the rest of the story, but yeah, they're not built this way for this car, innit? Especially at that price. Like, if you wanted a car similar to this, then it's basically it's long. You get me? It's like there's no negotiation. That is way too expensive. But yeah, to get a car like this, you either pay this price or you get this car, and there's not many of this car. So cool. We're like, I bet there's nothing we could do. We have to look at another car, but basically at the same car at the lower spec. So now we feel like we're settling for something we came in to go and get, which is a weird feeling when you feel that way. So we then find eyes on something that we like in it. So I'm like, cool. We want that. It's in another spot, but they're gonna get it delivered. Fine. But we go home. But he's basically said to us that it hasn't fully sold yet, but people are looking at it. But like, they've reserved it, so like they get first dibs. So if they want it, they want it, and that's it. Like, that's the done deal.
Well, this new one that you...
Yeah, no. The one there, the first one. So if they want it, like, that's theirs, isn't it? But until then, you get me. You can wait, but how long are you gonna be waiting for? Something like that. Say no. So then we go home. We're waiting for my man to tell us like whether they want it or not, innit? Because he's literally another person selling them the car. So he's turned back, got his phone call late, bro, late Sunday. He said they're buying it, bro. I've gone, fuck. So I've got to break the news to her. Innit? You get me?
Yeah, babe.
It was long.
Yeah. Take a seat, baby.
Still love me, right? You get? I'm negotiating the deal. Yeah. She ain't really in it. Like, I'm trying to pattern. Yeah. You get me? So I'm like, and this is one of the first ever times I'm trying to pattern it. Like, just me dolo. She's not really involved. I'm patterning everything. Yeah. So I need to. You get me? I'm like, babe, I need to come up with the goods. You get me?
You might lose the ratings, cause
you get me. So I'm like, fuck, like shit. So then basically we're settling for the car. Yeah. So then at this point, in our mind, we're only getting that car. We're not getting the higher spec. We're getting the regular spec that we wanted. Cool. Bro, I messaged this nigga on a Monday. He don't reply. I'm like, nah, this ain't right, bro.
Or like email or that?
Bro, by text. I've got his personal.
Oh,
it's deep.
Yo, bro.
Me, yo, yeah. You see our conversation? It's that. Yo, bro, he's messaging, man. Cool. No response. I think raw. I call him. No response. I think bad. He calls me again on a Monday. He misses the call. I missed the call. Yeah. I was busy, and then we then text, and he's like, "Oh, like we'll call. Like, we'll have a conversation tomorrow." I'm like, "Bet." I don't know what's going on, fam. I'm bugging out. I'm like, bro. Remember these times we wanted the car. We can't get the car. We can't find it online. Nowhere. We can't get this whip. So I'm like, this is such a peak situation, but it just is what it is. That's when I'm stressing. But I'm stressing over picking cars, bro. And you know the type of cars like we driving, bro. Like, this is a luxury, you get me? Why can't we be bitching about stuff like this? But at the time, we bugging, innit? So
just so mad, yeah.
Go on.
My sales senses are tingling, but I'll tell you, I'll land after you.
Yeah. So because that'll be a good conversation. So boom. Fast forward to Tuesday. Tuesday just gone, so yesterday. Calls, man. So I'm like, what's up? Get me, like, cool me.
Yeah.
He's like, everything's sorted. I'm like, what you mean, bro? You get me? Like, because we're shook. Because obviously, like I said, we agreed on the other car, but we ain't even seen that car yet. It's in another dealership. So what do you mean agreed on what? You get me? Like, what car you trying to sit to, nigga? Like, what's going on? You get me? He's like, yeah, and I sorted out the other one. And I'm like, okay, nigga, slow down right now. You're going way too fast for me, bro. Yeah. What is going on? And he's like, yo, like, I've sorted the last car, the one you test drove. I said, you're lying. I said, how you do that? He said, bro, these lot were taking, like, this is the exact words. These lot were taking long, bro. The people that were supposed to originally buy the car, they took too long. They didn't, their reservation ran out. They didn't, they're if in an R in, they don't know. He said to his other sales brethren, give me that. I've got people that want this right now. You get me? Like, it's that. Bro, patterned it up. Ended up taking the dub. Got the car that we wanted. Like, it was a mad situation, bro. And then obviously when you hear the news, when I tell her, she's like, what? It's bugging out. Because it's like, in that situation, the car was gone. Yeah. The email he sent us, then he called us, told me that they're going to buy it tomorrow. Everything, it was over with. We're looking at this other car. Yeah. But in that situation, that car then came about. But one thing, this is the teaching moment, guys. and you can even ask her this. I never lost hope, bro. For some weird reason, I was like, no, we straight.
Yeah.
Even when the email, I said, don't worry about it. I was cool in there. When he said that to me, I'm like, cool, say less. Inside, I'm burning. But on the outside, it's like, no, we straight.
Yeah.
Facts, we straight. Like, we'll look at another car, it is what it is, or we'll find the same car in the same spec or whatever. But in my head, for some reason, I always felt I was going to get the car. Even when he's telling, man, these people have reserved it and they're going to buy it tomorrow.
Something inside you just...
Something inside me was like, for some reason, I feel like we're going to get the car though.
Yeah.
Do you get me? It was nuts.
I feel from that, yeah, what I got, yeah, my cell sensors, yeah, it's that thing. I was like, yeah, this guy, it's for me, that looked like I think you had the car way before you knew you had the car.
So what, you think he was playing,
It's a negotiation trick still.
You think he was playing, man?
It is, isn't it? Because there, especially when you're in sell cycles over big liabilities or assets, and something that's got
like
a big value attached
30Ks and 25Ks and that.
Something that's got a big value. This deal can't be transactional. When I say transactional, like there's no way you're gonna come and we're gonna just sign it like that. Do you get me? You're gonna need convincing. You're gonna need buy-in.
No, you saying that spin, man. I'll be pissed if that's the case because shit went left.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. It was to create urgency on your side to guarantee.
But we was gonna pull up.
I hear you.
That day alright, cool. And I want to let you finish because you're saying something that's good for the people. On that day, the energy I came in there with, I said, because this was funny. This is specific. Charlotte could tell you this. I've gone in there. Before we got into there, I said to her, because we'd never been to this dealership before. Talk about nothing in it. So I said to her, listen, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to show them, listen, I'm trying to buy a car today. And if not today, within the next 5 days. Like, it needs to happen. This is a now, like, we're trying to leave a car today if that's possible. So man goes in there. Hi, how can I help you? Blah, blah, blah. I said, yeah, I'm looking to buy. Told him the car. Ideally today, like, if I'm honest, like, I'd rather get it all nailed down today. And if that can't work for you guys, then next 5 to 7 days. And then I was like, okay, cool. And that's when they started like, who's free? You get me? Then it was like boom, boom, boom. And then my man popped up, innit? But yeah, go on, man.
Yeah, all of, like, they're gonna, what you said, they're gonna hear that type of approach a lot, but not all the time people go through with that. Yeah. So what people get is called happy ears. You hear all the things you want to hear, but then it'll fall through. They'll come last minute like, you know what, it's out of my price.
Basically, exactly what happened with those other people.
Yeah, it'll get you happy. So for him, he's like, listen, we're trying to sell this car. What is it like? What's in it for me to show that you are not the same type of buyers as these people? That's basically wasting my time. Do you get? Because that could have been going on for 2 weeks. So at the end of the day, they didn't sell the car. And you're thinking, bruv, like, I was trying to hit this month's target, fam. This is the last. This is get me. Man's gonna get a decent commission off of this car. You're telling me you don't want to sign no. You better buy the car right now. So he's now sort of guaranteeing that you guys are definitely interested. You get me? And is a ploy that even I'll use. Like, for example, someone comes and like, yeah, like, listen, man, I want to sign today. I'm like, okay, I've heard this before. So then you start to drag your feet a little bit to create urgency from them. Once you get that buy-in, like, yo, like, man is trying to, okay, what's the guarantee? If I said it's available, can you, and already you've been there how many times?
What, to this spot?
Yeah, like 3 times.
How many times?
Or how many times have you called? Or like,
oh, like, all right, cool. So we went there. We've been there twice physically, and called them. I've been on conversation like twice. Yeah.
So all of those you class as like different touch points. So you was waiting to probably get to a certain number of touch points. Be like, okay, good. These people they're serious.
That could potentially be there. And if it was, the reason why I'll say I'll be fuming because it's like, nigga, man didn't need, I didn't need all that, bro. I need the car.
No, you get, because you're a serious buyer.
Yeah.
It's hard to like tell.
To find out if you're a serious buyer. Yeah,
they might speak to 10 people in the day.
100.
2 of them are serious. He's thinking, another one.
But that's what was in my mind. I think that's why I had the hope, because I was thinking,
this guy probably thinks I'm serious.
No. I was thinking, hold on a minute. We're serious buyers, but these people, the likelihood of these people being serious buyers is low. Yeah. How many serious buyers come into a dealership and buy a car off first seeing it? Unlikely. Bare people come in there and test drive cars and then bounce. Like,
to be honest, once you test, like, if you really want to buy a car as well, once you test drive it, you know straight away. And to be honest, what would delay you from like getting a car right there and then, if that's what you're there for.
Yeah,
Do you
like
get?
if you're, and that's the thing when it comes to certain things, especially like big purchases. Yeah, there'll be no reason to go there to waste time. Like I've been in dealerships to just look at cars. And I'll tell them, I'm here to just look. I ain't trying to buy nothing. Don't bother me with none of this. You know what I'm saying? I'm letting you know this from now.
Yeah.
You know if I'm trying to buy a whip. I'll pull up in there and be like, listen, today, the next, like literally that day we was ready to leave with the vehicle. The only reason why we ummed and ahed or thought about, because you suggested something that was
not part of
the plan whatsoever. He suggested, bro, he put us in that car, bro.
Yeah.
We did not suggest that. Now, you could say that was another ploy as well, to be like, nah, let me give them more expensive. Fuck it. Like, that man got that outside. No,
Yeah, I reckon they'll try, bro.
You get me?
You always try to upsell.
And you know what? Makes sense. Now that you've brought it to my attention in terms from a sales perspective, makes a ton of sense.
Because imagine after you said, listen, mate, like this car's reserved. Imagine you turned around and said, you know what? That's good. Like we found the exact same one at a different dealership. Yeah. Like, we can go test drive that one. Yeah. I guarantee you he's gonna turn around and be like, you know what, yeah. Let me see if we can sort something out. Let me see if you get me.
It's true.
Then he give you a different timeline. You know what? Listen, can you guys come down today?
Yeah.
Be like, listen, I'm not too sure. Like I've got
drag your feet.
Oh,
Johnny's giving game. I should have dragged my feet on that nigga. Do you know why? Because to be fair to you, I cooked up a different deal. So basically, he gave us a deal where the price was here, bro. He cooked us a deal that was here and like in our price. He's basically showing us on the screen. You know, they can show you on the screen what's popping, and we're like, damn.
But let me tell you something as well.
Go on.
That's not their best price.
What?
Because
go on.
If there's room to,
this
like,
is
for example,
game, you lot. You know, you lot, take this in.
For example, you wouldn't go to like Sainsbury's, pick like cookies off the shelf and go to the till, like, yo, can I bring the price? You ain't gonna negotiate. Like, them prices are fixed at list price. However, things like car dealerships, things like any like houses, like big values, big assets or whatever, you can, like, there's room to negotiate these things. You get me? And as a seller, I know that. Like most of the time, we're gonna go into negotiation, and when we go into negotiation, whatever the case, as a salesperson, you're losing out. Yeah. You're losing either out a little bit on your commission to get the deal over the line. Yeah. You're losing commission to guarantee commission, if that makes sense. Yeah. Or the company, like whatever is going towards like the company's value, that's dropping as well. So from a sales perspective, if you negotiate, you're losing value. So the best thing is to negotiate on anything else other than price. Yeah. Price should be the last thing you negotiate on. They could have said, listen, mate, what if we start your payment 2 months early? You get 2 months free. Yeah. You're thinking, wow, 2 months free? That's sick, fam. That's 2 months free drop. No, it's not. He's just starting your payments 2 months later. You're still paying the same term. It's just starting later. So you're in your head, you're thinking, yeah, I got 2 months free. But you're not. Does that make sense?
Exactly.
And then the second one is negotiation. If I know we're going to go into a price negotiation and the price is here, I'm starting prices here. I'm telling you the price is here. Yeah. So as we're dropping down negotiation,
we're going to get closer to the price.
Closer to the price, but we're not going closer, you're not going past or close too far away from the list price that it actually is. So he could have said, yo, the value of the car is 50K. Yeah. But really and truly, it's 45K. Yeah. I mean, he's got 5K room to negotiate. Yeah. And you thinking, yo, I'm getting this. I'm knocked 3K off to tell me something.
Yeah.
But no, you didn't. You just knocked 3K off of the imaginary 5K that you added on top. Yeah. So all of the time, anytime as soon as they open room for negotiation, just expect them to start and higher than what it already is. And to be honest, from a sales perspective, if they're a good salesperson, they can sense that you know that they are playing tricks. Yeah. And you're gonna play your own tricks, then that's when the real battle comes. Yeah. Because for sometimes there's tactics people use, like they will ask for price discounts 3 times. Do you get me? First time I said, listen, mate, you need to do something about the price. He said, listen, I can't do nothing about the price. Yeah. It's like, listen, I would buy this, but you need to do something about the price. That's the first time.
In hindsight, I'm thinking, God damn, this motherfucker got it. But not in the sense where it was bad.
Yeah, not in the bad
because
way.
It's still the budget's fine. But at the same time, it's like
you could have got something back yourselves
potentially. But then it's kind of like just everything. Like I said, the email saying that the car's good because in the email he said the car was sold, but it wasn't sold. it was just reserved, which is a reservation. Like you can reserve a car right now. Get me? It might cost like a bills, but that's it. It's not like man put in 2 bands. Man just put a bills.
Did you say
down.
when it was reserved?
That morning.
After you've test driven it?
The morning. The morning after we test drove. Yeah, the morning after we test drove. So it's like, yeah.
Go on, but that's dumb.
But that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like, it could potentially be that kind of ploy, because then again, like you said, 2 days later, it's available all of a sudden. They took long apparently or whatever. Because then it's like, now it's proper like calling our bluff. Like, okay, now it's here. Are you going to buy it or not? And then if then we're delaying, who's be like, it's sold, like, and that's it. Do you get me? So,
and he's called you, said, listen, I've sorted out this one and the other one.
Yeah.
I'm leaving it with something.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
If I ain't getting this one, you guys leave with this one. So I'm still going to get something. Best case scenario, worst case scenario. But all I know is you guys are coming here and you're leaving with something. Yeah. Which means I'm leaving with something.
Yeah.
So like, hopefully that you can pick up some gems from that. Yeah.
100.
There's like, and the thing is, this one thing I learned recently, negotiations don't start at when you start discussing price. You get negotiations start from the first time you guys conversate with each other. Yeah. Like for example, if you go into a store, again, all this situation. Yeah. Your first words to them begins the negotiation. Not necessarily in terms of price, but just in terms of what you're going to walk away with. Yeah. Like there's always negotiations going on to find the best value or common ground for something. So when you're entering conversation, you want to enter it from a much more powerful position. Yeah. You need to go into that shop and make them feel like, listen, like this ain't your only option. Yeah. I've got other shit lined up.
It's true.
I want to see if you can beat what you can make up a fake quote. Listen, mate, I'm here for this car. I want to see if you guys can beat the price that I've got. And
I think that's that's probably the reason why. Because in my head, because this is mad game. Do you know why this is mad game? Because you know when you start thinking back and start realizing certain things. So for example, there was no reason why we couldn't test drive the car that we actually wanted, because of what we actually wanted. There's bare of them. Yeah, like you see them on the street. There's one outside. They're everywhere. So it's like, but the car that he put us in was, like I said, a higher spec,
the real one.
So it's like, why would he put us in that car when there's bare of the other car that you could have put us in? Does that make sense? So there's that, and then there's also when we got there, he was telling us about how 2 things didn't make sense. So one, he said, this is deep, but at the same time it's calm. But one, he said, what did he say? For, like, yeah. Because we're coming on, bro. We walk away. We don't care what the price, all these games you want to play, as long as it's the price that we fuck with. I'm cool. Fuck your commission. You get me? But then it's like, he said to us that they already patented it, like they reserved it, whatever. Then he said, I think that's them over there, like talking to his other colleague, innit? So I'm like, nah. But then it don't make sense, because then after that he says they're coming here at 4 to look at the car. So I'm thinking, hold on, this don't make sense.
You start put
so are they over there now,
or they're coming,
or are they coming here at 4 o'clock? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, potentially could have done some mind games, but like I said, in my personal opinion, from our perspective, they were completely pointless. Because it's like, bro, just give us the car. Thinking, listen, you're doing all this jargon shit, but we're really here for this whip. You get me? Like, we're really parting ways with this car, bro. Like, this ain't no banks. Like, but maybe they have to do that to try and fish out whether you're real or whether you're here to just play games, trying to see stuff and that, like just trying to test drive bare whips and get this. But we was in a position where it's like, nigga, we don't give a fuck. We just want a car. Like, it don't even have to be this. Well, yeah, it does, but that specific one of that spec, it wasn't necessarily necessary. Because we've been in it, we're like, no, fuck that. Like, we can walk away with this shit. Well, so for the fair dues to him, we could have walked away with paying less on a different car that would have been okay. It was one we wanted, but at the same time, we're paying a bit more. But we fucking love the car. You get me? So it makes sense. It makes sense still.
But yeah, that's what when you were telling me the story, I was like, 'Cause I'm thinking, I know these moves. Yeah. Like, if they are moves, I know these moves. You get me? Yeah. And like, it's always, you know, there's more reward from his to him rather to you. Yeah. Because either way, you're still paying for the car. You're gaining the car, but you're giving. Do you get me? He's not paying for the car. Like, if you look at his whole situation, yeah, whatever company he works for, he's probably got a discount on the car he drives. You get me?
Facts.
He probably got company benefits, and he's getting commission on top. He's not losing out on a lot. The worst case scenario is you guys don't buy the car, then he has to try to sell it to someone else. So the commission is still there, potentially available. He might lose out on his hitting the monthly target or whatever. But that's like worst case scenario. For you guys, worst case scenario is you don't get this car. If you go somewhere else, you might never get the price that he guaranteed for you. But for you guys to get the car, the dosh needs to leave your pocket. So it's like you're getting like a direct exchange. You get me? You're losing out on just one thing, and he's gained. He might lose out on the sell, but not to. He might lose on the sell to you, but not to someone else. And everything that he would get as a benefit of that sell, he will still get it naturally. You get it. So sometimes as consumers or from the customer side, even for me, if I go somewhere, it's hard to get the best deal because you still have to spend money to get it. Whereas he's gaining money. Do you get it?
It's like, from our perspective, it's like at the end of the day. And the best bet is that because of our situation, no liquid cash leaves our pockets, which was something we needed. Like, it just needed to be that way where it's like, we're not actually forking out any cash in this whole setup. We're not paying out no P's, which was like best case scenario for us anyway. That's why it was so mad. We literally got the best car in the best case scenario for us. That's like, to me, that was mad. That's why the way that situation went from, oh shit, we have no car, to we have a car, was crazy. But then breaking it down, that potentially could have been the reason. I was just trying to make sure we was really down. You get me? Because these imaginary people have already reserved it. It's all this, that, and the third. I'm like, bro.
Do you know so good as well? It's a good thing that you kept Charlotte out of it.
Yeah.
Because he would have sensed that she's the one who's more emotionally attached. Or she's more emotionally, like, visibly, like her emotions are more visible. Like, if he can, and that's not what you want to do. You want to sell an emotion. You get me? If I can see, yo, this guy is really attached to this whip, I'm gonna tell you, listen, bro, like, how did that feel when you was driving? I know. Listen, imagine you got a fresh trim. You're going you start imagining scenarios that will never happen to you. Yo, man's driving on the coastline. Like, coastline where, man? You're just driving through Lewisham with this. You get me? But I'm gonna sell you the car on emotion. You're gonna make that decision on emotion. Do you get me? So that's what I say. It's a good thing you kept Charlotte out of it, because you're like, oh, she could have made that price go up. No offense, but she could have made the price go up. She could have looked at you like, giving you them looks like, yo, like, give the man the money. You're telling like, no, I want the best deal. You get me? All in front of the guy.
That was the best case scenario. Man just wanted to make sure that the way it went down was something that suited us, in it. You get me? And the fact that it did on the car that it did, it was great.
But I think in the end there, he still looked after you guys though.
No,
in terms of like, because he could have been a prick and said, listen, mate, it's available, but I like, for that price, we can't do it. We could only do it because there was, you get me, there was a lot of interest in it, or whatever. You could come up with some crap.
No, it was decent, man. It was decent, like.
It's good. Hey, man, listen, hit me up for that sales game,
bro. Hey, no, facts. Because now you say it, and it's like, and so we listen to it, like, he was tripping. Because in that situation, like I said, if he needed to do that to get what he wanted to get from it, cool. But in that scenario. That scenario was mad. Because it was crazy. Like, it was crazy still. It was crazy. But I would say, if I was in his position, I would do the same thing. It makes sense. It makes so much sense. That's what I'm saying, Because if someone comes to me and says, man's got some game, but I can't think I was talking about on the pod.
Hey, man, listen.
No, I swear it down. I said, we could bleep it.
It's up to you.
I might forget.
It's up to you.